Well, we're honky. So, the bottom line is we won't be performing Othello, but we have
Wait, you guys, we can do Othello. I got an idea. Can you just hear me out?
No.
I got an idea that's totally boatless, man. We should get like a rhythm going, like a... Here's a story about a brother by the name of Othello. He liked white women, he liked green jello.
Yeah. And a punk named Iago who made himself a menace because he didn't like Othello.
The Moor of Venice. Now Othello got married to Desdemona.
He took off for wars and he left her alone.
It was a Mona.
Rona.
He left her alone.
He didn't write a letter and he didn't telephone. And on his love beat and Desi loved Othello because he had a big sword. But he was crafty, he was sly, he was sort of a beast. He said, I'm gonna shout before. How you gonna do it? Tell us. I know the tragic clause and he's too damn jealous. I need to do a joke, a kind of schmo. So we find a chump sucker by the name of Cassio, and he plants on him Desdemona's handkerchief.
So Othello gets to wonder just maybe, yeah. Well, he's been out fighting, commanding an army.
Our Cassie and Desi plan hide the salami. Salami. So we come back home. He smothered the bitch, and he thinks to pull it off without a hitch.
But there's Amelia at the door who we met in Act 4.
Who say, you big dummy, she weren't. No, boy, she was pure, she was clean, she was virtual too. So why'd you have to go and make a face turn blue? It's true.
Then what you gonna do when Othello says,
damn, this is getting pretty scary. Pulled out his blade, committed Harry.
Iago got caught, he probably caught the tree,
Loaded up his bag and moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Africa! Now, gentlemen, let's say we take a break from all this heavy tragedy and move on to the comedies for a while.
True that, Holmes.
Now, when it came to the comedies, Shakespeare was a genius at borrowing and adapting different plot devices from different theatrical traditions. These influences include the Roman plays such as Plinius and Terence, Ovid's Metamorphoses, which are hysterically funny, as well as the original Italian art, Commedia dell'arte.
Yeah, basically Shakespeare stole everything he ever wrote.
Well, stole is kind of a strong word, distilled, maybe.
Okay, well then he distilled the 3 or 4 funniest comic gimmicks of his time, and he milked them into 16 different
You
plays.
see, essentially, Shakespeare was a formula writer. Once he found a device that worked, he used it over and over and over again. So, Mr. Shakespeare, the question we have is this. Why did you write 16 comedies when you could have written just one? To answer this question, we have taken the liberty of condensing all 16 of Shakespeare's comedies into a single play, which we have entitled The Comedy of Two Well-Measured Gentlemen Lost and the Merry Wives of Venice on a Midsummer's 12th Night in Winter. Or The Algernon Gordon... Cymbeline Taming Pericles, the merchant in the tempest of love, as much as you like it for nothing. Or 4 weddings and a transvestite. Comedy? Comedy. But first, a glass of scotch. Oh, yes. Beverly? Oh.
Hey, Beverly.
Hey,
Beverly.
Beverly. Give it up for Beverly. Oh, gentlemen, I can't have scotch, all that weaky alcohol. It upsets my colon, I must say. Beverly, I'll have my regular. Let's get a white ale. Oh, good choice, my friend.
Yes. Your big flaming drink.
You know what? That was unfair. Beverly, we at the air come get the white ale for Reed here. I keep mispronouncing my name. Sorry.
This is a beautiful scotch. What is this, a Brooklyn?
Possibly, it's a good beer. Yeah.
I really shouldn't be drinking. It's a habit I'm paying for dearly, daily. Dearly, daily.
What the hell is Beverly? Beverly, get the F in here!
That's
That is marvelous. Down. Comedy!
Comedy!
Absolutely. kingdom over to his sadistic and tyrannical twin brother. He learns some fantastical feats of magic and sets sail for the golden age of Greece, along with his daughters, 3 beautiful and virginal sets of identical twins. While rounding the heel of Italy, the Duke's ship is caught in a terrible tempest which, in its fury, casts the Duke upon a desert island along with the loveliest and most virginal of his daughters. This innocent vision of loveliness stumbles into a dark cave where she is molested by a man, or a fish, or both.
Act 2. The long-lost children of the Duke's brother, also coincidentally 3 sets of identical twins, have just arrived in Italy. Though still possessing of an inner nobility, they are ragged, penniless, destitute shadows of the men they once were, and in the utmost extremity are forced to borrow money from an old Jew, who tricks them into placing their brains as collateral on the loans. Meanwhile, the 6 brothers fall in love with 6 Italian sisters, 3 of whom are sharp-tongued, contentious little shrews, the other 3 of whom are airheaded, submissive little bimbos.
Act 3. Shipwrecked identical daughters of the Duke wash up on the shores of Italy, disguise themselves as men, and become pages of the Duke, and matchmakers to the Duke's brother's sons. They lead all the lovers into a nearby forest where, on a midsummer's night, a group of mischievous fairies squeeze the apoplectic juice of a hermaphroditic flower into the shrew's eyes, causing them to fall in love with their own pages, who in turn have fallen in love with the Duke's brother's sons, while the queen of the fairies seduces a jackass, and they all have an orgy.
The elderly fathers of the Italian sisters, finding their daughters missing, dispatch messages to the pages, telling them to kill every man in the vicinity.
However, unable to find any men in the forest, as a final misguided act of loyalty, the faithful messengers deliver the messages to each other and kill themselves.
Meanwhile, the fish creature and the Duke arrive in the forest, disguised as Russians, and for no apparent reason perform a 2-man underwater version of Uncle Vanya.
Act 5! The Duke commands the fairies to right their wrongs.
The pages and the bimbos get into a knockdown, drag-out fight in the mud.
During which the pages and clothes get ripped off, revealing female genitalia.
The Duke recognizes his daughters!
The Duke's brother's sons recognize their uncle.
He turns the monster into a newt who becomes speaker of the house.
And they all get married and go out to dinner.
Except for a minor character in the second act, who gets eaten by a bear, and the Duke's brother's sons who, unable to pay back the old Jew, give themselves lobotomies.
And they all live happily ever after. Thank you.
We now move on to the rest of Shakespeare's
Absolutely.
We now move on to the rest of Shakespeare's tragedies because, let's face it, the comedies aren't half as funny as the tragedies. Enter Julius Caesar.
Hail, citizen!
Meanwhile, Julius Caesar was a much beloved tyrant.
All hail Julius Caesar!
Hail, citizen!
Who was warned by a soothsayer.
Beware the Ides of March.
The great Caesar, however, chose to ignore this warning.
Well, what the hell are the Ides of March?
That's today.
Friends!
I come to bury the great Caesar, so let's bury him and get on to my play. Antony!
And Cleopatra! Is this an asp I see before me?